never leave this little town. The family, the memories, the roots that I put down. Know who I am, ain't gonna change. Might find a brand new melody, but the song remains the same. I'm proud of where I'm from, yeah, where the lucky ones. Red dirt, white church, blue collar work still running through my veins. I was born small town, deep roots, mud on these boots. I wouldn't change a thing. It's how I was born and raised, born and raised, born and raised. It's how I was born and raised, born and raised, born and raised. Telemiracle 42, how you guys doing? All right, sing along if you know it. I know that gravel road will always lead me home. Somewhere that you didn't stop points me to where you are. I know that gravel road will always lead me home. Somewhere that you didn't stop points me to where you are. Shooting star puts me to where you
Welcome back, everyone, to Telemiracle 45. My name is Jess Moskaluk, and you just saw the Hunter Brothers Saskatchewan Zone. We are full of great talent, including my co-host.
Oh, that's part of the reason I'm here, is just to get built up like that. Good to see you again, Jess. And like she said, we're happy to be here with you. The show will go on throughout the night. We do have a little bit of a different format this year. As you saw, that we got to bring back an older performance from the Hunter Brothers, which was just awesome. And we miss the guys. And speaking of people that I don't have to miss this year, how about we introduce Miss Jill Straker, who's going to join us here in the next little while.
Thanks so much, Chris. It's so great to be back to Telemiracle 45. Throughout the show, you'll see some amazing testimonials from people who have benefited from the funds of Telemiracle. We're also going to see testimonials from people who have contributed to Telemiracle. The eggs of the U of S have been a huge part of Telemiracle, raising funds for us, and we're going to check out their testimonial right now.
Telemiracle and the University of Saskatchewan's College of Agriculture have gone hand in hand for almost 40 years. The very first bed push from Saskatoon to Regina happened in 1982.
It probably was just a bunch of students sitting around, possibly having a few beers, talking about ways that they could have students participate in some sort of a fundraising event for Telemiracle. How they came upon the bed push, I don't know, actually. We didn't do much training. I remember we used to always say we would train, and we'd maybe run around campus a couple of times, but we usually ended up in Louis afterwards, you know, discussing how good our training session was.
Enthusiasm for the bed push has never wavered at the college. Last year, about 30 students per day were involved in the 3-day run, which also involves a number of inspiring stops.
Yeah, the first day we stopped at the Dendron Elementary School for lunch. They were gracious enough to host us. And just seeing all those kids' faces light up and seeing what the College of Ag is all about and giving back to the community, that was huge for us.
Each year's run ends with a Saturday evening visit to the Telemiracle stage. In 2020, it was especially memorable as the college made its biggest donation ever.
The goal was $45,000, but we raised $55,011.69.
The college has adapted how it raises money. In the beginning, students accepted donations as they traveled on the highway. Now, fundraising reaches further into the community.
And in the last, like I said, 4 to 6 years, sponsors have really been stressed, getting local businesses involved, really upping the game. And it's grown into something that's beyond our college. It's a true representation of the sport and generosity of the agriculture industry and really just the province alone. We have donations coming from all over the province, from all kinds of families that just want to support Telemiracle.
Another evolution to the event is that in 2018, alumni from the college returned to renew their support. In 2020, 3 generations of Altwassers participated in the run, as Carter, his dad, and his grandfather all took part. As with Telemiracle, tradition and dedication to the cause is what keeps driving the bed push ahead.
Yeah, it's a tradition that carries on. They still use the same bed frame. You know, they've retooled it, made it a lot better. The old frame is still the exact same one that I remember pushing back in the mid '80s when I was in the college.
Both Telemiracle and the Agros have deep roots in our province.
Rural-based, small towns, small cities across the province, and I think, you know, one of the draws to fundraising for Telemiracle is, again, just that connection to community. I fully expect that this will continue.
And it's just something that's so cool to see here in Saskatchewan, and kind of keeping with the theme that, you know, together we're all a big family here, and we're all in this together. And it's just amazing to see that it's been a tradition that just keeps going and going on for many years. Next up, we actually have a performance from one of our own cast member or family members here at Telemiracle. She is a country award-winning artist. Her name is Jess Moskaluk, and this is her song, Take Me Home.
Say you were hoping you'd run into me, and for old times you'd like to buy me a beer, but you ain't gonna take me home. You reached out and brushed the hair from my face, look in my eyes like nothing's changed, but you ain't gonna take me home. You probably had a fight, slammed the door and walked out. She's probably waiting up for you. You could stay here all night like you just might help, but we both know you ain't gonna take me home. You're moving close like it's too loud in this bar. You say that you and her are falling apart, but you ain't gonna take me home. You probably had a fight, slammed the door and walked out. She's probably waiting up for you, baby, right now. You could stay here all night like you just might ever. We both know you ain't gonna take me home. just might, but we both know you ain't gonna take me home. Still keep me buzzing every time you touch my hair. You're gonna lean and try to kiss me, but I'll just pull back. So when she calls again, go ahead, pick up your phone, 'cause you ain't gonna take me home. No, no. Oh, oh. We both know you ain't gonna take me home.
Well, that's kind of strange. I've never had to outro my own song before. This is a first for me.
A lot of firsts this year.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of firsts this year. I should quickly give a shout out to Brennan and Justin, who were accompanying me back whenever we had recorded a few months ago, I guess, already. So shout out to them and thanks for playing with me. I also wanted to give a shout out to our incredible team here at Telemiracle, the Kin and the Kinettes. And I wanted to make a special mention of the logo, because it's such a cool logo
The logo
this
is
year.
really cool.
How
It's
could have
very
we
cool.
known when we designed the logo that it was going to be all of you guys watching from home?
You know, we last year we were jokingly blaming the whole pandemic on Brian, our chair, this year because of the logo being sitting on the couch. And you know what? It's worked out and in a beautiful way. And just looking at all the way that everything has come together here at Telemiracle this year, I guess sometimes things meant to be.
I think you're right.
And speaking of things that are meant to be, Miss Jill Straker's going to tell us what's coming up next.
Thanks so much, Chris. One way to donate to Telemiracle is through planned giving. And you think about, you give to Telemiracle throughout the years, throughout your living years, and one day, one way, to keep on giving is through planned giving. And we're going to watch a quick video on how you can take part in that and be part of Telemiracle through the planned giving.
The true meaning of life is to plant trees under whose shade you do not expect to sit. Kinsman Foundation is one of my 3 charities that I'm designated in my will. Being an important part of Saskatchewan and something that's been near and dear to my heart, I wanted to do that and leave them a legacy.
Telemiracle was always important. Whenever it came on, it was definitely on their TVs the whole time. And like, I don't even know if they slept. They would watch it as much as they could and they'd get up the next morning and watch it again. Thankfully, they could always help everyone in their family that had challenges, but they knew that there was families that needed more help or more supports. So when they made their will, Telemiracle was a big part to include, because when they did pass, they knew their dollars would keep living on and keep making more of an impact.
You know, over the last 10 years, I've seen more and more people doing the gifts, almost 1 or 2 an hour, it seems, when the show is on. It's just becoming more and more common, and people are remembering the Kinsman Foundation is a valuable organization in Saskatchewan.
It's kind of nice when you have a charity that's so well known and so respected as Telemiracle, that when someone wants to make a donation like that, no one's challenging it. No one's saying, is that a good idea? Everyone would say that's one of the smartest places you could donate to.
If a person has seen what the foundation does and how they manage the funds, I think it would be an easy decision for one to make.
If you're talking about a legacy, it should reflect the people you were when you were living. For them to make a donation, they know it would impact their neighbors and their friends. Their legacy would reflect that. Grandpa and Grandma Ford, sure they're not here, but look how much good they're still doing. They're still helping out even though that they're not with me anymore. So during their lifetime, they were always doing everything to help everybody. And now that they've passed, they're still doing everything to help everybody. It's important for me to know that Eden understands the magnitude of the donation. Her great-grandparents made a choice that helped out the whole province.
Kinsman Telemiracle and Kinsman Foundation do good work. I wanted to make sure that it'll continue. I know that when I've left this earth, my worth will be carried on.
When I hear stories like this, it really makes me realize that there's no place like Saskatchewan and this foundation. It really makes me realize when people dedicate a part of their lives to what Telemiracle does, it just, I don't know, it makes me emotional. And but next up in our show, we have another one of our shout outs from the Stampeders. And yeah, we're gonna see a clip from them.
Hey, hi everybody. My name is Kim Burley, and I'm with the classic Canadian band, the Stampeders. And I don't know if you remember or not, but I think it was 2017, the Stampeders performed on the Telemiracle. And I'm here to tell my tale of my Telemiracle experience. So it's always a great pleasure to do that show because everybody's in an upbeat space and they, you're well treated, there are smiles everywhere, and so the whole experience is great. But to make it even better for me, I happen to be married to a Moose Javian woman, and I have lived in Saskatchewan for close to 2 years, about a decade ago. And so I'm very familiar with the province. Not only have the Stampeders played all over Saskatchewan over the years, but having lived there, and made friends. It was wonderful. And my trip back to Telemiracle allowed me to meet with some friends and, have dinner and conversation. But it is a great time, and it's for such a good cause. All the money stays in Saskatchewan, and you all know the drill. Get on the phones, make it happen. It'll be different this year for sure, like everything else, but it's a great thing, and we're so pleased to have been there, and I'm so happy to be able to just make a little video to reconnect with everybody. And so do it. Make those phones ring.
Carry me home to Birmingham, to my Sarah Ann, to where I grew a man. Oh, carry me away from this old war. I don't want to fight no more. I just wish it would end. Oh, here I'm tied down, homesick. That old wind just blows so freely. Why can't it take me along? Oh, carry me with you round and round. It's a place you've been. I wish I was home again. Oh, 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 oh. Here I'm tied down, homesick. That old wind just blows so freely. Why can't it take me along? Oh, carry me with you round and round. It's a place you've been. I wish I was home again. Oh, oh, oh,
afraid if I don't walk away today. Carry me home to Birmingham, to Sarah's homemade jam, to old Red Mountain Land. Oh, carry me with you rambling wind. It's a place you've been. I wish I was home again.
You know, Jess, I think that's one of my favorite parts about Telemiracle is just seeing all the different guests that we have and just watching how the spirit takes over everybody as soon as they arrive and as soon as they just see all the hundreds of people that are involved. I just remember watching those guys and listening to them. Their minds were blown all weekend long, and they were such a treat to have here.
They really were. And you know what's cool is that even though things are a little bit different this year, we still get to have guests like the Stampeders, and we get to kind of relive some of my favorite Telemiracle moments. So it's kind of been a really fun way to get creative, and it's been awesome so far. I hope you guys are enjoying it at home. Another part of the whole reason that we're here, though, is to find out where exactly your hard-earned dollars are going. So here is our good friend Jill Straker to tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, you'll see some testimonials throughout the telethon in the 20 hours. And right now, we're going to see a testimonial with a family with a really young baby and just how they benefited from the Telemiracle dollars that you generously donate every year.
We found out Ben had a congenital heart defect when I was about 24, 25 weeks pregnant. And he was diagnosed with critical pulmonary stenosis, which meant the artery feeding his lungs was over 90% blocked. We live in Regina, we're from Regina, and so they thought it would be safer for us to be delivered in Saskatoon at the new Children's Hospital there.
I was very scared. I was scared for, obviously, Benjamin. I was scared for my wife. I was trying to prepare as best I could, probably over-prepared. Thought I was all ready, thought everything was gonna go great, trying to keep a positive attitude. Maybe a few hours later, because she delivered first thing in the morning, is when we found out that they scanned his heart and they made the decision that day that we would be going to Edmonton, and took all my positivity out because I knew that was a worst case scenario.
Not only did we have to then give all of our attention to our now fragile and sick and small little baby, we had to then try and find where to stay, how long are we going to be there for, how do we afford it? That was the big question. Yeah, we were approved for funding from Telemiracle before heading off to Edmonton, which was a huge relief. It felt like we were taken care of by people that we didn't even know, and it felt wonderful. Actually, when we got home, it was the weekend of Telemiracle, and we actually got to watch all of these wonderful people who give and donate so much every year. And you never think that you're going to be the person to receive it. You never think that you'll be the person who needs it. But we were. And again, we're so thankful for the people who've donated and the people of Saskatchewan.
Such a beautiful story. It seriously means the world to me, and I'm sure you as well, Chris, that we can visually see where this money is going, and I think we should keep on with some of the Saskatchewan talent. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea. Keep people awake and don't even think about going to bed. We got a long time to go before then. So in the meantime, you want to take us away?
In the meantime, we have some of our very own extremely talented cast from right here in Saskatchewan. They are brother and sister, and this was, again, if you're just tuning in, this was pre-recorded in a COVID-safe environment. This is Jeff and Jill Straker.
Leading up to the broadcast, a friend of mine out in Moose Jaw let me know that when it comes to Telemiracle, his grandmother calls in multiple donations during the broadcast. And this was really interesting to me, because I always think of people calling in, we're encouraging people to call in, give us a donation. His grandma, he said, usually calls in 6 or 7 times, which I think is great. So keep that in mind out there, folks. We know we've asked you for your hard-earned dollars, and you've been great to send in donations so far, but keep them coming. If you've called in $5 before, maybe you're seeing the great use that these dollars go to through the videos we're showing you. Send us another little bit if you can. Every little bit helps. Now, we're going to do a tune for you that's inspired by a small town living in Saskatchewan. My sister Jill and I originally come from a little town called Punishy, Saskatchewan. So if you're out there in the Punishy area, we're sending a challenge out to you to call in a donation. And this song goes out to anybody out there who's from a small town, who's moved off to the big city. It's called One Foot on Main Street. I would hear the horn blowing on the CN train, wave from my bike as a kid, dream about where it could take me. I knew every house and every face inside. No one locked the door. Think about that place all the time. Coffee rolling, twirling stools at the Chinese cafe. They'd solve the world's problems before 9 o'clock each day. The past is full of diamonds we once thought were cold. Mom's shouting from front porches, come for supper before it gets cold. I grew up in a small town. I'm a small town at heart. I moved to the city, but deep down I've not gone that far. No matter where my boots take me, I grew up in a small town and I still got 1 foot on Main Street. Cruising gravel roads on a Friday eve. Music up, windows down, setting ourselves free for a cigarette outside the dance at the high school. Learning how to make mistakes, and God damn it, we were cool. And getting out was on our minds. It seemed like only somewhere else there were fortunes to find. 17 loaded up the hatchback, come back once a year at Christmas time to see Mom and Dad. I grew up in a small town. I'm a small town at heart. I moved to the city, but deep down I've not gone that far. No matter where my boots take me, I grew up in a small town and I still got 1 foot on Main Street. Headed back the other day, took a drive. Grandma passed away and we said our goodbyes. Potholes and peeling paint, it seemed better days. Some would never see the beauty in this place. And I heard the horn blow on the CN train, and I was a kid on a bike. those were simpler days. I used to know every house and every face inside. I wonder if they locked their door. Thinking about that place all the time. I grew up in a small town. I'm small town at heart. I moved to the city, but deep down I've not gone that far. No matter where my boots take me, I grew up in a small town and I still got one foot on Main Street.
Welcome back to Telemiracle 45. We are live from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Speaking of small towns, my name is Jess Moskaluk and I live in Rocanville, Saskatchewan. This is my friend Chris Henderson.
Yes, my name's Chris Henderson. I live in Wilcox, Saskatchewan, originally from Estevan, a little bit bigger than Wilcox, but I think we can relate to Mr. Straker's song. It fits in with a lot of us here in this province.
Absolutely, and so many of you at home as well. Don't forget, if you haven't had the chance to call in, you can do that. That number is 306-683-2021.
And hey, when you're calling in that number, we're going to say it again, 306-683-2021. You want to call in, you want to make a request for Howie the Bear, but you have to do something else in order to get him. You got to make a donation of a minimum of $145, and you have to specifically ask for Howie. And so, as I have done for the last 3 years, I am going to pick up a Howie this year, and it always ends up with my mom. So, looking forward to adding to the collection this year.
You know, that's funny. I think that my Howie of every year ends up at my mom's too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. It's just the mom thing. Well, speaking of mom things, Jill Straker, tell us what's coming up next.
I'm a mom. That's a perfect segue.
It was.
I'm so excited because you know, we're taping this. You know, I'll say 95% of the performances and presentations are done, have been pre-recorded, and so we're going to watch a pre-recorded group presentation, and when we come back from that, I'm really excited because I get to talk to real live people. COVID-ly distance, we have plexiglass, masks, the whole gamut, but it's so nice to have actual people coming in to do the presentation. So first of all, we'll take a look at this video from LaRange Pre-Cam Community School.
We are from Pre-Cam Community School, and there are a few students that we asked to share a message on behalf of Pre-Cam Community School.
Pre-Cam Community School has raised money for Telemiracle in the month of February.
We raise money by selling helping hands,
having a PJ Day fundraiser,
and collecting donations.
Our school raised a total of $698.85 for Telemiracle.
That's amazing. LaRange Pre-Cam Community School raising $698.85. Thank you so much for the work you did to get those donations. And right now I have Chantel and Byron from the Kinsman and Connect Club of Lloydminster. How are you two doing?
Hi Jill, we're doing great.
That's great. It's so good to see you even from this far apart. And you know, we have the splash guard in place.
Yep.
But I'm just happy to have real live people to talk to this year of the telethon. This is fantastic. So tell me about why you're here.
So the Cadets Club of Lloydminster ran a rib night, or rib week, event earlier in the fall. And then this past February, we ran a joint fundraiser for our annual steak night fundraiser in Lloydminster.
So our steak night took a drastic change this year, obviously, because of the restrictions. But our club stepped up and socially distanced and delivered over 700 meals in less than an hour and 20 minutes throughout Lloydminster.
And did you say less than 20 minutes?
Less than an hour and 20 minutes, over 700 meals throughout the city. We want to, both of these events wouldn't have happened without Three Trees, a restaurant local in Lloydminster, and they've been just an absolute huge support. So our members, Kinsman and Cadets, I saw cars lined up 35 cars deep, waiting to deliver meals to people, and of course 2 people or 4 people in a house. So we took a fundraiser that we've done for years and years, I think 25 plus years now, just made it into something new.
I love it.
And we went ahead and would like to make a donation to Telemiracle.
Sure, we'd love to have it.
Drum roll.
Drum roll.
$19,700.
Holy smokes, $19,700. Yes, that deserves a huge round of applause. That's amazing. Like what's the word? The new ways that everyone has found, and like they've pivoted to find all these unique ways and like delivering those meals. Like that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, the clubs all across Saskatchewan have changed a little bit and morphed into what we can do.
Right.
Not giving up, and that's such a testament to Kinsmen Cadets and the people of Saskatchewan, and we're so proud to be District 3 Saskatchewan Kinsmen and Cadets.
And we're so proud to have you here. Thank you so much for that. This is fantastic. That is going to help our total. But you listening at home, watching at home, don't forget, like we have these amazing donations coming in from these clubs, but we still need the phones busy. We still need the phones ringing. That hasn't changed this year at all. The number to call is 306-683-2021. Don't forget that. Keep these guys busy behind me, the guys and gals. There's 2 more big banks of phones in rooms that are far, far, far from here. And we want to keep them busy. We want to keep this total going up constantly. That's what we're here for. And your generosity is so much appreciated by Telemiracle.
It is. And speaking of Saskatchewan and everything, we have a national cast performance coming up. Saskatchewan's very own Chris Henderson with a song called Kissing Sadie.
You know, I've had the chance to do a few shows, socially distanced and otherwise, over the last year or so, but it occurred to me that the last time I got to play with a band was with these guys, and I am just so excited to be back here, and I have to thank the Telemiracle Committee, the Kinsmen and Cadets, for just not letting this thing go by. We can't not do it this year, and I'm just so happy to be here raising money with you and to be playing music with these guys. So it's called Kissing Sadie.
She's got everything a boy could want. Everybody says that she's the one. I wanna love her, but I can't move on, I know. Whoa, 'cause my heart's not in it, and since saying the truth, I'm kissing Sadie, but it should be you. Lying in the arms of someone new. I'm kissing Sadie, but it should be you. It's not her fault that I can't forget. It's not her fault I ain't over you yet. I close my eyes and I'm with you instead, I know. Whoa, 'cause my heart's not in it, and since saying the truth, I'm kissing Sadie, but it should be you. Lying in the arms of someone new. I'm kissing Sadie, but it should be you. I'm kissing Sadie, but it should be you. And tell you the truth, I'm kissing Sadie, but it should be you. Lying in the arms of someone new. I'm kissing Sadie, but it should be you. Lying in the arms of someone new. I'm kissing Sadie, but it should be you. Remember calling 683-2021.
Well, now it's my turn to talk after my performance.
Isn't it weird?
It is a little bit weird, but you know, it's nice to see that it looks good.
You did great.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And we appreciate the Telemiracle Band. We got to make sure that we give them as many shout outs as we can. Just incredible musicians, incredible people, and we miss their presence here this weekend. But
it's been nice to see them on the back screen. It feels a little bit almost like they're here.
it has been nice to see them. But you know what else is nice to see on the screen?
What?
A total. And in order to get to that, I think we should do a knockdown.
Do you want to do a knockdown?
Let's do it.
I think that's
Okay.
I think that's appropriate. Let's do it.
Let's get it going.
All right. If
Come
you're
on,
not on the
Saskatchewan.
phone, can we get you to stand up? Most of you are already on the phone. Thank you, Saskatchewan. That's one thing I love about this province. You ask and you shall receive.
That's right. Don't forget to call in 306-663-2021.
Come on, Saskatchewan. Let's ring those phones.
All righty. Well, thank you so much, Saskatchewan. Keep those phones going.
Keep those phones going,
We're not quite
Saskatchewan.
there yet, Saskatchewan. You can do it. Continue
And now
to
remember,
call.
we have a few more phones, not just here on the stage with us. We got a bunch in back rooms, a long ways away from where we are. We are all socially distant and safe. I got plastic that I'm looking at Jess through right now.
306-683-2021.
Now's the perfect time to call in your donations, Saskatchewan. We want to see all these Kinsman Connects busy throughout the whole telethon, especially when we have these knockdown totals. It's nice to phone in and you know you're talking to the person that just sat down and grabbed that phone call. Keep it going, Saskatchewan.
Don't forget to ask for Howie when you call Saskatchewan either.
That's right.
And when you call and you want Howie, remember, it's got to be $145.
That's right.
Or more. Could be more.
Or more.
I like the way you think.
Don't we?
We would
want
love more. Right? And like Jeffrey mentioned when we did our pre-recorded performance, there are people that actually call in multiple times during the whole telethon. So, you know, if you want to donate a little bit now. Phone in your $5 or $10 donation, you know, in an hour, maybe tomorrow morning, call in again and make another $5 or $10 donation. Just keep that number going up, Saskatchewan.
Come on, Saskatchewan, you can do this.
Now, I know I've got some Night Owl friends that are sitting up watching this right now, and I know you can see the people standing up in those other rooms. So let's knock them down like we always do, Saskatchewan.
We have a total.
We have a total.
All right, let's see how it turned out.
2, 8, 7, 6.
Wow.
Nice. Good
Saskatchewan, you've done it again.
$678,821.
So proud of you guys.
And where should we keep going, everybody?
I think we should keep going higher.
We should keep going higher. Come on, Saskatchewan, we can get that number high.
Coming up, I'll be hosting the overnight hours. Chris Henderson is going to join me as well. You guys don't go anywhere. We have a great lineup coming up.
Another one of our testimonials is to do with mammograms. We've all heard that early detection of breast cancer saves lives. With that in mind, the Yorkton Regional Health Centre wanted to update their mammography equipment, and Telemiracle was there to help.
I'm Laura Wiley. I work at the Yorkton Regional Health Centre. I have a family history of breast cancer. My grandmother had breast cancer. My mother had a malignant melanoma. I have 2 sisters that have breast cancer, and I also am a breast cancer survivor. Early diagnosis is absolutely huge in your cancer journey. And so having mammography that can detect things even earlier than what our usual fashion is huge.
Well, the role of a health foundation is to talk to the staff in the hospital to see if there's equipment or services that could be provided here that perhaps isn't. So are people having to travel out for services? And if we can buy equipment that will allow people to stay here to get tests or treatment, then what we try to do is raise the money to buy that equipment so that people don't have to travel out for healthcare.
For our patients to be able to be treated closer to home, and we do have a huge service area into Manitoba north, south, east, west. It's huge for them to be able to stay in their home community.
Telemiracle helped us bring digital mammography equipment to Saskatchewan 10 years ago when we bought the first digital mammography equipment in the province. And now we're sort of closing the circle on this story in a sense, because we're buying the next stage of digital mammography equipment with help from Telemiracle. And after this new iteration of digital mammography equipment is in the hospitals, virtually every woman will be able to get an accurate mammogram. We do almost 5,000 mammograms a year here. So we want to have the best and the most current technology. So we want to make sure that we put those kinds of services in place. Early detection is what saves lives.
It's wonderful to know that we have state-of-the-art equipment right close at hand, should that need arise. Anybody wants to be a part of that.
It is absolutely amazing to learn that almost 5,000 mammograms are done each year in Yorkton alone. Like, that number is astronomical. So this equipment is so important. It's comforting to know that should the need arise, women can access a state-of-the-art diagnostic tool in their home community.
And coming up, we have some more talent. We actually have tuning in with us, Fabian Villeneuve. So we're gonna have a little chat. How are you doing, Fabian?
Hi, I'm doing good. Yourself?
I'm good, and I'm just checking. That's how you pronounce your name, Fabian Villeneuve? Is that right? Awesome, awesome. And so you are a performer, a guitar player and singer, and you're gonna be doing an original for us today. Do you wanna tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I recorded at a Rainy Day recording company in Saskatoon with my producer, Matt Stein. I really love this single that I made, and I'll be releasing an upcoming EP later this year called Trials.
Wow, that's so exciting. And I see you've also made a donation to the Telemiracle Foundation. Tell us how you raised some money for that.
I did something a little bit different. There's this viral hot food challenge called the Death Nut. I proceeded to complete it today with proceeding with all the donations to complete it. I reached $1,210.
Wow, that is incredible. And so this is Fabian Villeneuve singing an original song titled In This World or the Other.
By day, restless night, still mesmerized, forgotten my way, was lost in your eyes, so hypnotized, truly love-stricken. This highway goes on for miles, life's journey felt so alone. Amazed when I seen your smile, I'll find my way back to you. You'll be my forever, I'll find my way back to you. In this world or the other. By day, restless night can never unwind, unsure what to say. What the heavens design has flooded my mind. Truly love-stricken, this highway goes on for miles. Life's journey felt so alone. Amazed when I seen your smile, I'll find my way back to you. You'll be my forever, I'll find my way
another.
The SAS Talent has been so amazing this year. They're amazing every year. I love watching what people do. They sing, they dance, they perform. They're ventriloquists, as Chris mentioned earlier. It's been absolutely amazing. And the donations that they bring in have been fantastic too. Just to go back to the fact that Fabian brought in, I think it was over $1,200. Nutrien is matching all SAS Talent donations up to $100,000 throughout the whole telethon. So essentially they're doubling the money that the SAS Talent performers bring in. And that really helps us in Saskatchewan. That helps the total go up. Another way of the funds coming in are groups. We get to see a quick video now of on-air taped, I guess you could say, presentation. And we come back from that, I get to chat live some more with another group.
Hi there, this is the Prince Albert Connect Club. We are donating this year to Telemiracle. Some of the things we did this year was a raffle, both 4 different types of baskets throughout the year here, and we sold out on those raffles quite nicely. We just finished a Valentine's raffle, and prior to that we did a cozy fall raffle. We have next Mother's Day and Father's Day, so it should be a good turnout. Another fundraiser we did Spud Nuts for Telemiracle. So for $20, you could buy a dozen Spud Nuts. We started selling those at the beginning of February, and we were sold out of 50 dozen within 24 hours. We managed to be able to convince our partner, Sweet Treats by Alex J, to put in another 25 dozen. So we have 75 dozen sold, and they're going to be delivered here right away, curbside delivery. We want to thank all of our people in Prince Albert and who supported us throughout this time virtually. And with our donation today, we came to a grand total of $5,795.
Thank you so much to the Prince Albert Kinsman and Connect Club. Over $5,000 raised from Spud Nuts. I don't know if you've had Spud Nuts for anyone who's watching out there. They're delicious. I'd probably eat 75 dozen myself. I'm not even kidding. And right now, live, through the plexiglass, of course, again, in distance, I have Darren and Danita, and they're from the Kinsman and Connect Club of Kindersley. And welcome. We're so happy to have you here and have real live people here to talk to. Tell us why you're here tonight.
Well, we have a community donation from our community in Kindersley. So the 3 schools in Kindersley, the Westbury Elementary School, the Elizabeth Middle School, and Kindersley Composite School raised $4,190. Synergy Credit Union donated $150 from their staff for Dress Down Fridays. Caleb Seniors Village donated $2,400 from various residents. The Kindersley Kin Club donated $1,540 from our fundraisers. And we did an online campaign and raised from our Kindersley and area residents $4,180.
That's fantastic.
For a grand total from our community of $12,460.
Wow, thank you so much for that. Over $12,000 raised in the Kindersley community. And again, I'm noticing a lot of these donations as the clubs are coming in, and a lot of online this year. I guess that's kind of the option to do it, right? So correct. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for that wonderful donation. That is absolutely amazing. I wish more of you could be here this year. It's kind of an odd year, I'll say, with less kin and kinettes around, but I'm so happy that you were here and that we were able to talk to you. Thanks again for your donation. It's really appreciated.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you so much. And coming out of that, don't forget to keep those phones busy behind us as I'm talking, as performances are going on, as the pre-recorded performances are going on. We have an awesome treat right now. Part of our national cast, Max Shepard, gets to perform live for us. And like I said, it's a treat because this COVID world is bizarre. So this is Max Shepard singing No Evidence.
get so drunk off the cheap wine. It's like a knife to my heart while it's beating. Hard as I try, I can't stop the bleeding. I gotta find a way to make it all go away, away. Wish I could wipe your fingerprints off of my skin. Forget all the memories of where we've been, so I never go back and do it again. No evidence, no evidence. I should erase all the messages, things I just said. Wash all the sheets, kill yourself from my bed. Then you wouldn't be hanging around up in my head. No evidence, no evidence. Now, gotta find a new place to see my old friends. How do I keep myself from going off the deep end? Scratch all the vinyl off the records you gave me, so I ain't listen to the way that you played me. Shattered little fragments of my heart, sweep them up off the floor, the floor. Wish I could wipe your fingerprints off of my skin. Forget all the memories of where we've been, so I never go back and do it again. No evidence, no evidence. I should erase all the messages, things that you said. Wash all the sheets, kill yourself from my bed. Then you wouldn't be hanging around up in my head. No evidence, no evidence. When I said I loved you forever, it must have been an accident. How the way you saw the evidence, like it never happened. Wish I could wipe your fingerprints off of my skin. Forget all the memories of where we've been, so I never go back and do it again. No evidence. Wash all the sheets, kill yourself from my bed. Then you wouldn't be hanging around up in my head. No evidence, no evidence.
Max Shepard, ladies and gentlemen. Well, why don't we have a look at a total that's just come in. We've been having quite the night here to start things off. I like the new format.
Let's see it.
9, 6, 0, 1, 7.
You've done it against Saskatchewan?
Nice work, Saskatchewan.
You know, I think that 50-50 is the thing that's got to stay for the long haul.
I think so. I
And,
think
you know,
there's a lot we can recycle.
Absolutely. And speaking of things we can recycle, I want to remind you again to pick up our little friend, Mr. Howie here. You got to call 1-306-683-2021. You call in and you make a minimum of a donation of $145. And you have to ask for Howie.
You have
So
to ask
minimum
for him.
donation of $145 and you get this buddy. You got to ask for him. So I'm going to challenge out all the young ladies that think Mac is cute